Hello everyone, this is JD here from Studio 2105. Welcome back to MixStream Online and yet another episode of Weekly Update Wednesdays. Here we are yet again and heading into a new year 2021. If you're new to this channel, a warm welcome to you, and as usual a big shout out and a big thank you to all the patrons who help to support the channel financially. If you haven't done so, please head on down and subscribe, right? Click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you'll be updated, you'll be informed every time I put out a brand new video. To sign up for the email list, head on down to bit.ly/mixstreamonline. Sign up for free stuff, okay? Right? You get access to my personal snare drum library and also my reverb IR library as well. Do consider also becoming a patron by heading down to this website down here, www.patreon.com/studio2105. 2020 was undoubtedly a challenging year for the music industry as a whole, and us here in recording studios and the studio business also were definitely affected as well. Nonetheless, looking forward and moving forward in the year, right, one of the things that I want to share with you is some of the work that we do, okay, that I do here at Studio 2105. Most of you may know that we are primarily a music production studio. That means we work with singers, we work with artists, we work with bands on songs, EPs and albums, but we actually do quite a lot of post-production and VO work as well. You hear meaning voiceovers. So I want to share with you, here's a little project that we were involved in. We actually recorded the voice actors and the voice acting for an episode of SMK Animasi. So what is SMK Animasi, right? And this is based on the popular Astro Cheria series, right, called SMK. But this kind of follows the adventures of a group of secondary school friends. So this is an animated adaptation, right? Do check it out so you can hear some of our voiceover work. So the link to the video is right up here. Click on it. It'll take you to the video. Go and check it out after you watch the rest of this video, okay? Right, cool. So without further ado, let's head on down to this week's and the very first featured question of the year. What are the steps towards making a song? I'm always losing focus when it comes to the production process. Alright, let's get into it. Number one, it starts with the source. Okay, you hear me repeat this phrase very often in other videos and also on my MixStream live stream videos as well. When I say it starts with the source, very often I'm usually referring to maybe the instrument, the player, because in recording and mixing, the final outcome, how good it sounds, how good it turns out, relies heavily on the source itself. Now, this also applies in the songwriting and the song production process. Now, in the big picture of song production, the primary source is obviously the song itself. So start by writing a great song. Catchy, memorable melodies, have a great chorus that listeners will want to sing along to, and meaningful lyrics, words that people can listen to and relate to. To me, a great song can always exist. This is a very important point here. Independent of a great production. What do I mean by that? Okay, so I always believe that a great song, you can strip it of all the fancy production elements. If you can remove all of those things, a great song can stand on its own. Enter the pre-production stage. Now, this is arguably, and in my opinion, this is the most important stage of the process. The pre-production process has got far greater weight and influence on the outcome of the final product than any of the processes and all of the stages that come afterwards. So during the pre-production stage, you would want to record a demo. So as the name implies, a demo is there to demonstrate to a listener, okay? The listener could be a producer, could be an arranger, could be an engineer, could be an A&R executive, etc., right? It's to demonstrate to a listener the potential of the song, where could the song go? Where could the producer or take it to? Maybe you could take it to another higher, the next level for instance. During the demo, this is where you need to work out things like the style or genre, right? The song structure, the arrangement, the musical arrangement, the instrumental parts, and of course, right, very, very important, what is the key, the appropriate key for the singer, and also the tempo as well. A good demo will help to sell, all right, sell the song. And nowadays, actually, with the availability of a lot of high quality and also highly affordable gear, it's possible to get demos right nowadays which really approach sound almost as good as the final product nowadays. Okay, so there's no excuse for you not to be able to record and to create a great demo. A demo will also help and allow the singer, very importantly, and the musicians, if you're in a band, to practice and know their parts, right? Rehearse, and rehearse even more. Okay, this is very important. This is still part of the pre-production process. Okay, so the demo will is where you need to finalize, as I mentioned, right? Things such as the tempo, the key. The band members should already plan ahead, work out their parts, figure out what they want to play way before even stepping foot into the studio. Okay, right now, remember, this is a quote that was shared to me. The studio is an expensive place to practice. Okay, it's an expensive way to practice. So right on the day of the recording itself, no one should still be figuring out parts and working out parts. All of these things should already have been done right prior to coming into the studio. Hopefully all this time you've been working with a producer. Have you? If you haven't, I highly recommend that you go and hire one right now. And in fact, you should already be working with a producer from the get-go, from the very start when you have started writing the songs as well. Now, if you can't afford a producer, perhaps the thought never ever crossed your mind. I'm going to tell you now that this is the time for someone to step up or step into the role. You need to identify someone needs to take the responsibility and take the leadership position before you go into the next phase. Recording stage. All right, this is where the fun begins, okay? Now, a good recording studio is there to facilitate the creation of your musical masterpiece, okay? So a good studio will usually be equipped, right, with a combination of good equipment, good microphones, right? Good acoustics, great sounding rooms, and of course, good expertise as well. An experienced recording engineer and hopefully mixing engineers also. With all the effort that you should have already been putting into the pre-production stage, right? The recording stage should hopefully be smooth sailing. You want to focus on capturing the best performances possible, capturing, recording down the parts that you've already worked out during the pre-production stage. Now, having said that, sometimes, right, inspiration will strike. Someone might come up with a cool part, a cool guitar part or something, or maybe a cool vocal harmony or vocal idea. Or sometimes, right, when there's gear, when there's equipment lying around, right, it can inspire someone to go and maybe conduct and try out some kind of a sonic experiment. Like I said, right, a good studio helps to inspire creativity. So you should always allow, right, for some of that to happen, okay? As long as it hopefully it doesn't break your budget. Don't spend so much time, right, sidetracking and working out different ideas that you end up spending so much time and departing from your original concept, okay? When it comes to recording the rhythm section, drums are almost always the very first instrument to be recorded. Now, obviously, because it provides the rhythmic foundation of the entire song. Now, from my experience and from many producers and other engineers' experience, they can tell you the same thing as well. It is far easier to record the other instruments on top of the drums instead of the other way around, okay? Very often, right, if let's say you already start with recording bass, instruments and vocals, and you record the drums on top, sometimes you find that the bass and drums don't really lock, right, together, right? The rest of the instruments, bass, guitars, don't lock with the drums. Trust me on that, okay? Save yourself right? All the trouble and all the pain, right? Now, okay, there are always exceptions to the case, and usually this only if you get to work with the very best session drummers, only then you can work the other way around. Vocals are usually last, okay? Typically, traditionally, vocals are the last parts to be recorded, but very often I actually leave out things such as the instrument solos, lead fills, maybe, and string orchestrations until after the vocals are laid down. Why do I do that? Okay, so I would want to have the main vocals down first so that I know that any additional parts that I add later on is going to support the vocal. As the saying goes, vocal is king, right? So all the additional guitar parts, keyboard parts, string parts, and string orchestrations and string arrangements or whatnot is going to be there to support the vocal, not step on top of it and not take right away the listener's focus from the main vocal and the main melody. Once all the instrument and the vocal parts have been recorded, we move into the mixing and followed by the mastering stage. Now, sometimes before we go into mixing, there will be some editing work required, right? This falls into a category of post-production work, things like maybe editing, drum sample replacement, vocal pitch correction. So all of this editing work and post-production work needs to take place before we go into mixing itself, okay? So there's mixing and the mastering, and I'm not going to talk so much about this because I've covered this topic extensively in other videos as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about mixing, do watch my MixStream videos which are on this channel. Stay tuned as well, for usually I will do the MixStreams live streams on the Fridays, okay? And if you want to take it a step further, I have the Direct Access 1.0 Music Production Workshop. So this is an annual workshop, but this year, no, not this year actually, last year in 2020, I recorded and I filmed the content, right, of the entire workshop. And I've posted it up, or all the videos on this channel, so you can check it out. The Direct Access Music Production Workshop is an event where I take a song by a local independent band and I demonstrate the entire production process, right from the demo all the way through the recording into mixing and mastering the finished product. So this is a series of 20 plus videos with nearly 30 plus hours of instructional content or video, entirely for free, so do head on down and check it out, okay? Okay, hopefully my answers has given you a good outline of the entire song production process, okay? Now, again, as I mentioned, if you want to go a little bit further, a little bit more in depth, do check out the videos from the Direct Access 1.0 Music Production Workshop playlist. Alright, time to wrap this video up. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave your comments and your feedback down below. I really love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, right, this video is where I answer your questions that you have regarding anything from recording, mixing, mastering, music production, music theory, and even music business, okay? Do check out the rest of the videos that I have on the channel as well. If you found this video useful and informative, do leave a like, alright? Do share this with your friends as well. This will help with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't done so, what are you waiting for, right? Do click and become a subscriber today, okay? If you want to support the channel financially, do consider signing up to become a patron. Again, the website is down below, www.patreon.com/02105. I will really appreciate the help and the contributions. Alright, just before I sign off, as usual, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Wash your hands, take care of your personal hygiene, right? Practice your social distancing. Till next time, I'll see you again in the next video. Happy recording and mixing. Peace, love, and music.